In our culture, when we talk about infidelity, the conversation often starts and ends with men. We see movies, read articles, and hear stories about unfaithful husbands, and it's almost become a stereotype. But what about when the roles are reversed? What about when a married woman cheats? It's a topic that's far less discussed, shrouded in a different kind of shame and confusion. For a long time, the prevailing myth was that women rarely cheated, and if they did, it was purely because of a man's failure. But modern research tells a much more complex story. The truth is, the reasons why a married woman cheats are as varied and deeply personal as the women themselves. It's not just one single thing, but a tangled web of emotional, psychological, and situational factors. So why does she do it? Let's dive into the core of this issue and explore the less talked about motivations behind female infidelity. We'll uncover what truly drives a woman to seek connection outside her marriage, breaking down the common assumptions and stereotypes along the way. The search for emotional connection. One of the most significant and most common reasons a married woman cheats is the profound lack of emotional intimacy in her marriage. While a man might be more likely to cheat for purely physical reasons, studies show that for women, the drive is often rooted in an emotional deficit. Think of it this way. A woman feels emotionally starved in her primary relationship. Maybe her husband is a good man, a reliable provider, and a loving father, but he's simply not present in a way that she needs him to be. The conversations are superficial, the laughter is gone, and the deep, meaningful connection they once shared has faded into a polite and distant routine. This emotional void creates a space that an affair partner can easily fill. The affair often begins not with a sexual encounter, but with a friendship. It could be a coworker, an old friend, or a new acquaintance who simply listens. He asks about her day, remembers the small details, and seems genuinely interested in her thoughts and feelings. He makes her feel seen and heard. This emotional connection becomes a powerful drug, and over time, it can lead to physical intimacy. The affair isn't about the thrill of a new partner as much as it is about finding a safe harbor to share her innermost self. It's a pursuit of feeling understood, cherished, and validated. Consider the story of Anna, a 42-year-old mother of two. Her marriage was stable, but sterile. Her husband, Mark, was a dedicated father and a hard worker, but their conversations revolved only around logistics, the kids' schedules, bills, and home repairs. Anna felt like she was a co-manager of a household, not a partner in a passionate relationship. A new colleague at work, a man named Tom, started noticing her. He'd bring her a coffee in the morning and ask what she was reading. He'd stay late to chat about books and art, things she had loved but long since forgotten. Their relationship started with shared smiles and deep conversations, and before she knew it, she was emotionally invested. The physical part came much later, almost as a natural extension of the emotional bond they had formed. For Anna, the cheating wasn't about a desire for another man. It was a desperate attempt to find the emotional life that was missing from her own. The feeling of being unappreciated and overlooked. Another powerful factor in female infidelity is the feeling of being taken for granted. In many modern marriages, women still bear the majority of the invisible labor, the mental load of managing the home, scheduling appointments, planning meals, and raising children. This can lead to a simmering resentment, especially when their partner seems oblivious to their efforts. When a woman feels like she's just a household manager and a mother, her sense of individual worth can plummet. The passion, the playfulness, and the intimacy that define a romantic partnership can get lost under the weight of these responsibilities. When an outside partner enters the picture, he often sees her for who she is, not just for what she does for the family. He compliments her on her style, remembers her birthday, and makes her feel desirable again. He validates her sense of self, which has been eroded by years of feeling like a maid, a nanny, and a default parent. This validation can be incredibly intoxicating. It reminds her of who she was before she got married and had kids. The affair becomes a way to reclaim a part of herself that she thought was lost forever. Take the example of Sarah. After a decade of marriage and 3 children, she felt completely invisible to her husband, David. He worked long hours, and when he came home, He'd expect dinner on the table and the kids to be bathed and ready for bed. He'd thank her for a clean house, but he never seemed to see the countless hours of work that went into it. He hadn't complimented her hair in years, and their last date night was a distant memory. An affair with a man from her gym who told her she was beautiful and listened to her frustrations about the domestic load made her feel seen for the first time in years. The affair was a form of rebellion against her own invisibility. It was her way of saying, I am still here, and I am more than just a mom. Sexual and physical dissatisfaction. While emotional reasons are often at the forefront, physical and sexual dissatisfaction can't be ignored. It's a misconception that women don't care about sex as much as men do. They do. However, for many women, sexual desire is deeply tied to emotional intimacy. A woman who feels disconnected from her husband on an emotional level may find that her physical desire for him fades as well. A sexless marriage, or one where sex has become a quick, unfulfilling chore, is a common precursor to infidelity. An affair can offer a woman a chance to explore her sexuality in a way she hasn't been able to in her marriage. This might be because her husband is unwilling to try new things, or perhaps he has a low libido or a medical issue that hasn't been addressed. In some cases, a woman may have an affair simply because the sex is better. The affair partner might be more attentive, more adventurous, and more present during sex. This can be a huge motivator, as it fulfills a physical need that has been ignored for a long time. Consider the case of Maria. Her husband had a high-stress job that left him exhausted and uninterested in sex. They'd go months without any physical intimacy, and when they did, it was perfunctory. Maria felt a deep sense of loneliness and physical frustration. She didn't want to leave her marriage, but she was desperate for physical touch and connection. She began an affair with a man she met online, and the sex was incredible. It was passionate, exciting, and, most importantly, it made her feel alive. She didn't love this man, and she felt guilty, but she couldn't deny that the affair was fulfilling a deep need that her marriage was no longer meeting. A need for attention and validation. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with images of perfect relationships on social media, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. Many women, particularly those who are stay-at-home mothers or who have sacrificed their careers for their family, can experience a loss of identity. Their lives become so centered on their children and their husband that they forget who they are outside of those roles. This can lead to a desperate need for external validation. An affair, even a brief one, can provide a powerful surge of attention and validation. It's a way to prove to themselves that they are still attractive, desirable, and worthy of someone's full attention. For some, it can be an act of rebellion, a way to reclaim their independence and agency. For others, it's a temporary escape from a life that feels monotonous and unfulfilling. This isn't to say that cheating is the answer, but it's crucial to understand the underlying drivers. It's often a symptom of a deeper issue, a cry for help, or a signal that something fundamental is broken in the relationship. The role of midlife crisis and life transitions. Infidelity can also be triggered by major life events and transitions. The birth of a child can put immense strain on a marriage, shifting the focus from the couple to the family. The empty nest phase, when children leave home, can also create a new kind of crisis, forcing a couple to confront the fact that they've grown apart. In these moments of transition, a woman might begin to question her life, her choices, and her happiness. This is a good moment to ask you, if you're finding this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more content like this. And don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you might have. Your perspective is important. Back to our topic. A midlife crisis isn't just for men. A woman in her 40s or 50s might look at her life and wonder if this is all there is. She might feel a sudden need to feel young again, to experience the excitement and passion of new love. This isn't a sign that she doesn't love her husband, but rather a reflection of her own internal turmoil and her desire to feel alive and vibrant again. An affair can feel like a temporary fix, a way to inject novelty and passion into a life that feels predictable and routine. The vicious cycle of communication breakdown. At the heart of many of these reasons is a breakdown in communication. Many couples who experience infidelity report that they had stopped talking to each other long before the affair began. Instead of addressing their needs and frustrations, they let them fester in silence. The unfaithful partner often feels that they have tried to communicate their unhappiness, but their pleas have gone unheard or been dismissed. When a woman feels unheard, she may stop trying to communicate altogether. She may become emotionally detached from her partner and begin to seek out a confidant elsewhere. This can create a vicious cycle. The less she communicates, the more distant her husband becomes, and the more she seeks comfort outside the marriage. The affair becomes a symptom of a much larger problem, a relationship that has lost its foundation of open and honest communication. In the end, understanding why married women cheat isn't about excusing the behavior. Infidelity causes immense pain and is a violation of trust, no matter the reason. But by exploring the complex motivations behind it, we can begin to have more compassionate and honest conversations about the state of our relationships. It's a reminder that a healthy marriage is a living thing that requires constant nurturing, communication, and mutual respect. The reasons for female infidelity are often a cry for help, a sign that a woman is struggling with loneliness, a loss of self, and a desperate need for emotional and physical connection. If this video has resonated with you, whether you've experienced infidelity firsthand or you're simply seeking to understand it better, I encourage you to share it. You never know who might need to hear this message. And remember, every challenge in a relationship is an opportunity for growth, a chance to rebuild and reconnect on a deeper, more meaningful level.